a percentage, you saying like out of 80% of the people in prison, or 100%, if you had to say out of 100%, how many you say right now are heavily addicted to drugs?
I think you hit it on the head when you said 80, but I'm finna, you know what I'm saying, maybe because of what I see, I might be exaggerating, but they got to be pushing 70, if not 80. They got to be pushing 70. It's, the least it can be is in the high 60s.
Right. So most of the guys coming in now, they end up getting on drugs inside of the joint.
Yeah, right.
Shit worse than what they was on in the streets.
Well, I ain't gonna say they get on drugs in the joint. See, this, and until probably about a year ago, well, not even a whole year ago, a few months ago, I was sitting down and I was thinking, I was like, oh shit, I'm just expecting more. See, we no drugs in the joint back in the day. There was a lot of dudes already on drugs, but there wasn't no drugs in the joint. So when they come to the joint, they get clean and clean up.
Right.
But you got to look, a lot of dudes come to the chain and already be drug, especially now, you know, this is a drug culture now, you know, they out there popping pills. I don't hear about people talking about Molly on the street. Now people still got on Molly on the street. You know what I'm saying? I heard around the way, they still got on Tunchi in the street. Dudes be telling me how dudes be all at the bus station and shit, all laid out and shit, smoking that shit. So, you know, they still got on drugs on the street, but, you know, instead of coming in and getting right, even if it's just for a few months or a few years while you locked up, you coming in here, getting right back, just finding another drug, whether it's cocaine, whether you're smoking cocaine, crack, or whatever you were doing, you coming in here and you finding something else to do.
Right. And that Molly is a strong thing out there right now. You know, that's a lot. It's a lot of dudes that was smoking crack. They stopped smoking crack to smoke Molly.
Yeah, Molly, the new crack, and these niggas don't even realize it. Like, these niggas be smoking Molly, and some of the shit they be doing, they be like really like real drugs. Yeah, I mean, they be doing like real drug shit, but the Molly is more expensive, so certain dudes can kind of like, where they try to uphold the image because they be trying to make it seem like, oh, I got money, I'm balling, but really they training their people to death.
Right.
But that K2 like got them like real base heads. I mean, to the point where these niggas don't even have money. They going to the child house stealing nasty, not the good trades, stealing nasty trades, bringing it back, trying to sell it, just so they can get something to smoke.
Yeah, that's sad though, man. Yeah, the game done changed all the way around. I tell guys, man, the game set up for us to lose, not to win, and they using prison now as a sight camp.
Yeah, pretty much. Matter of fact, fuck the whole thing. Cause everybody, like, right now, you got people want to get out and they screaming prison reform. If you out there, dog, and if we, matter of fact, maybe while, you know what I'm saying, during our communicating back and forth, we can come up with a way. The plan with this prison shit, see, we've been looking at this shit all wrong. We've been trying to solve this shit from the inside out. We need to stop feeding this shit, dog. Our whole culture is designed right now to feed this shit. You know what I'm saying? We want to be drug dealers, thugs, instead of trying to be entrepreneurs and bosses and even just elevating a job, have a high position in a job or something like that if you ain't a boss type, because everybody ain't made to be a boss.
Right.
But we want to be thugs, drug dealers, killers. This killer culture, I don't even understand, because I can understand anything about getting money, but I can't understand just killing niggas just to kill niggas. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? That shit like beyond me. I mean, I can't even make sense out of that shit. But you know, this the shit that our culture promotes. But all this shit that we promoting feed the chain gang.
Exactly.
Then
it's a revolving door.
And cry about the system being fucked up. But we not. It ain't like if you innocent and they snatch you up, yeah, you sing that song. Sing that song until you blue in the face. But if you out there thugging to the fullest, then get popped, and now you want to talk about the system fucked up and go and get on this revolutionary shit. Nigga, you played. True indeed, these crackers be tripping with a nigga. They ain't really giving a nigga shot, but okay, you get a nigga get in here and they get out, and then they go do some dumb shit. They do some more dumb shit than they did the first time. and want a cracker to feel and want a cracker to have sympathy for you. It don't make sense. So we want to kill. You want to kill the chain gang. Kill it from out there.
That's the only way it's gonna stop.
Yeah.
You got to stop feeding it. They don't understand the music. The music plays a big part in programming a young child's brain to act in a certain way, and they understand that. Music play a big part. The quickest way to teach a child something is to sing a nursery rhyme to them or a lullaby. Harmonize it. So they play these songs around young kids, and they have no choice but to act out because this is what they're hearing, because this is what their parents are playing. This is what their mom playing when they get them in the back seat. They understand this. They understand how to feed their monster now. Don't think they don't.
And I think that playing a bigger part. Like, you have a lot of dudes that say they don't like bragging raps. The niggas be talking about being rich and having jury. But you know what? It was a point in time in my bid where that shit motivated me. And I look at it and I'm like, not saying that it should all be about that, but we got to start. We got to make a different. We got to sing a different song. We got to do everything different. We got to start singing a different song. And even the music I make now, you know what I'm saying? I talk about the struggle, but I don't talk about the struggle in a way to glorify it. I'm just telling you my story. And by me being in here, I'm telling you my story. Like, okay, this the sad ending of this shit. This ain't no happy ending. Lord's willing, even if I be able to push my music out from in here and create a wave and get some kind of notoriety or start some kind of movement off of that shit, it's still not a happy story because I got to do this shit in here. That's not a happy ending. You know what I'm saying? So when I put it out there, I hope people be able to understand it and see it for what it is. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's some dudes, even they talk about this like, okay, Dirt, for instance. Dirt gonna give you all the fuck shit, but he gonna give you everything about it. He gonna give you like, this shit, I lost homeboys. This shit got me stressing. I'm rich fighting cases. You know what I'm saying? There's always some bullshit a nigga got to deal with. But then you got these other niggas that act like the nigga Young Boy. And I fuck with his music a little bit. But the nigga Young Boy got the most influence out of any rapper in the game right now. And this nigga rich and still not only want to rap about killing niggas like he ready to kill a nigga now, you starting shit and like with other rappers trying to kill him now. You done made it and you still trying to live like you ain't made it. Just to prove that you this certain type of nigga and it don't make no sense.
Well, you got to realize he's just a puppet too, man. They control the narrative. If you want that check, we need you to push this agenda. You got to realize he getting the money. He getting the money from the people. So the people want this type of music. This is what you got to put out. Or we'll snatch a rug from up under you just like we did Puffy Daddy. You see what we'll do to him? We can do the same thing to you now.
You better guard. They should have guarded their soul.
You feel what I'm saying?
I took my hat to that nigga Lil Baby though. But that nigga all the time in his music, he like, man, I made it. I ain't got to do that shit no more. I'm glad I ain't got to do that shit no more.
Yeah, man, that system is man. Listen, it's called the system for a reason.
Yeah, because that's exactly what it is. It's a system. That bitch designed.
It's designed that way.
At one time, I was looking at like with this shit with the drugs and everything. I'm looking at this shit like this was just some shit that just happened. But I started sitting there looking at this shit by design.
Man, listen, they done turned them prisons into concentration camps. And they doing a slow way of killing the black man mind. And if they catch a couple of their own kind in the midst of it, it's called casualties of war.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it pretty much. Because they only know the ones, they feel like the ones of theirs that come to this shit, they belong here. You done fucked up. But they really got our shit. And I look at it, this shit started all the way back. This shit started all the way back probably from the transition from the 70s going into the 80s.
Yeah, it started, it really started, it been in effect, but it really started when they realized that in the 1960s, the 50s and the 60s, during that civil rights, when you had all us together as a unit, working together, fighting for one common cause, they had to break that up because that was a threat inside of the country. A group of people standing up together for for something. So they had to break the family structure up. The family structure had to be broken up. How do you break up the family structure? Just like you would do anything in the art of war. You got to get rid of the warriors. Well, whose are the natural warriors? The young males. You get rid of the young males. Okay, how can we do that? Well, it's going to take a little time, but what we got to do first is let's go ahead and start pumping that heroin over there. We're going to dope them up. And let's start promoting all these liquor and all these different things for them to use. And then in the next 10 years, well, that heroin ain't working fast enough. Okay, well, look, it's 1980. Look, let's go ahead and put that on cocaine over there. You see? Let's put that cocaine over there to probably move a little faster. What crack did? Came in and started breaking up the family structure.
When they made crack, that's when they hit the jackpot.
They hit the jackpot.
Downhill since then.
You see? They started breaking up the family structure. So what happened? The men who were working, being the head of the household, they started getting on drugs, using drugs. Now what? The family household is broken up. Now what? They breaking laws. Now we're gonna write these laws to throw this net out here so we can get the people who breaking the crime. We already know who they're doing it because we got it out there. So boom, now we scoop them all up, put them in prison. Now once we got all these men in prison and left all these kids out here, now the kids gonna be raised by the women. They won't see a head of household as a man no more. That been washed out the theory of a black man. He ain't seen a man as a head of household. Some of them have, but not the majority like they used to be. Back in the days, it was the majority. Seen a man as a head of the household.
Yeah, that's tough. You 9 times out of 10 now, you ain't got no man in the household.
No, the man is not the head of the household. He's not. Now listen, not all of them. The majority not. Remember, they play by numbers. They play numbers. They ain't worried about everybody. They worry about the majority. So if they can get the majority, they did their job. Ain't the majority of us inside the prison?
Yep.
They did their job.
So it seemed anyway.
To them, they got the majority. That means that they winning.
We got to change the narrative.
Got to change the narrative, bro.
And see, when they killed, we ain't got no. They took away our black leaders.
The leaders was the men that was head of the household. You don't got no men that's head of the household, so you ain't gonna have no black leaders.
Yeah. We got to change the narrative. And I see some people doing it. I don't know.
Look what you just said. You see some people doing it. It's not the majority doing it. See, back in the days when you had people like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, them different revolutionary leaders, and the last holdup was the Black Panthers, cause they were some younger revolutionaries, wanting to stand up for something. Well, once they were able to get rid of them, you haven't heard nobody else say, "Man, hey, look, black people, we need to do something different. We need to start thinking different. We need to stop letting our kids listen to this music that they're listening to, programming them to kill each other at a very, very young age. We need to teach these kids about what they need to do with this money. They need to get them invested in real estate, buying property. That ain't what's being taught in the black community no more. What's being taught in the black community is for the young boys to kill one another and for the young girls to be prostitutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what's being taught in the black community right now. Basically, in the urban community. I'm not just gonna say black community. If you in an urban community, if you inside the city walls, they got something designed for you, and it's called music and social media and things like that. They gonna penetrate your mind to act a certain way, and when you play it out, they got something for you.
Yeah, I think, and I guess it's a natural progression. When guys get older, they become wiser, and they start seeing the world from a different perspective.